Okay.
This is a show that, and I'm gearing up right now, so we will be live momentarily. I don't really worry about that kind of stuff because, you know, whatever I do, I'm who I am, right? I don't
Listen, I've been live on the police department, standing in front of judges and everything, testifying. So you can't get no more realer than that.
Absolutely. So I love it because
I didn't want my freedom taken from me. I know that. So I couldn't do nothing but tell the truth in front of folks. And better be able to articulate some things or they will catch you up. Okay.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Absolutely.
So I think I'm okay. I think I'll manage.
I think you will too. I think you'll be just fine.
Okay.
We are live. We are now live on YouTube. So that's the first one so that's when you know it's going to get real up in here, because we're already on YouTube. And let me go back to where I need to be. Okay. Got it. Admit. Got it. Okay. So I feel like some days I'm like, I guess I am that person where I'm doing everything.
Okay, long as you're flexible.
Yes, I am flexible. So Mr. Decker, welcome back.
Hello.
1201 release, huh?
Yeah.
I got Michelle's here. She probably gets that reference when I say 1201 release. Does anybody else get that reference?
Yes.
Okay, well, unfortunately, I get it too, okay? I never got a 1201 release. I always got an 801. But
happy Monday.
So in Michigan, they had a standing rule that they would not let people out at 1201
right?
Because you could get hit by a car because nobody would see you walking down a dark street. So they stopped letting people get out when they were getting free from the jail. Michelle, you were here first, so I'm going to go ahead and start the show because I know today's show is going to go a little bit over. So hopefully everybody bears with me. I have some special guests. We are still celebrating a Black Awareness Business Month. So I am anxiously ready. The way this goes is I'm your host. I'm Adam Winston. It is a casual conversation. It is no pressure in one way or another. I do try to find creative ways, Miss Funeral Diva, on ways to get you involved. But this is going to be one of these things where we just gonna have some candid conversation. Let the public know what type of businesses that you have. Take the questions from the different platforms and just bounce off each other. Michelle, you were here first, so I'm going to go with you. Tell us who you are. First thing, welcome to Tea and Conversation. I'm your host, and just tell us who you are and how you got into the security business. I don't see many people like you. I'm sorry, I just don't see many people like you that have a security. Is it security detail business?
It is. It is an armed and unarmed security guard and protection services company. And so first, let me introduce myself and thank you for having me on. My name is Michelle Millicent. I am the owner of Madigan Security LLC. Madigan Security LLC is a security company that I started 2017. And again, my company is in the security business where I provide armed and unarmed protection guard and protection services. I employ law enforcement. I have partnered with the Veterans Administration, so I also employ retired military personnel, as well as candidates that have graduated from an accredited security school. My background is I did 20 plus years with Chicago Police Department as a police officer. So my skill set and my experience from that career comes in handy with me enhancing and structuring my company. Grew up on the south side of Chicago, went to Hyde Park Career Academy, and I graduated from Northwestern University. So that's a little bit about me. I employ, again, all kind construction, stores, you name it. Again, is it something you want to say, Mr. Winston?
No. Listen, what I'm going to do is I'm letting you do your introduction. I'm going to jump over to Miss Funeral Diva.
Okay.
And then I'm going to Mr. Ruffin. Tell us who you are, Miss Diva. I've never met a funeral diva, so it's a first time for everything. Now I got a funeral diva. If I ever want to look, you know what? I need to learn a lot about what you do. But Miss Funeral Diva, who are you? Welcome to Tia Conversation. How in the world, I got to ask this question. How did you get into this business?
Okay. Hello, everyone. My name is Paris McFarland, and I am the founder and owner of McFarland Funeral Services. How I got into this business, I grew up in a ministry family, pastor's kid. So my family would always go to funerals. They would eulogize services. And me as a young girl, maybe 7 or 8 years old, I'd go into Leaks at the time, Gatlins, and I would go up to the caskets and I'd say, oh, if I was here, I would change this about this person. I would just touch them. I'd see the families crying and I'd be like, I want to help them stop crying, you know, just different things like that. I would sneak out of the parlors and sign the different guest books. And my grandmother would get all these thank you cards. And she said, you went to all of these funerals? And I said, no, I just had to show support. And that was just me as a young girl. And I always had a special place for that in my heart. So growing up, I worked for a funeral corporation for many years. They owned over 3,500 funeral homes and cemeteries throughout the United States. And I loved working there. I learned so much from them. And then at the time, someone said, hey, you're doing all this hard work for this corporation for something that you love to do, that you're passionate about. Why won't you start your own business? And I never even thought about becoming an entrepreneur. And I said, I can't do it. So, you know, people kind of like pushed me out there. And here I am. I just celebrated 3 years, July 19th this year.
Wow.
I'm 33 years old. I'm the first generation to start a funeral business in my family. I've served well over 200 families in the last 3 years. I've been able to give back to the community. I've been able to start a mentorship group, just helping young people, let them know you can make your dreams become your reality. And
so Miss Funeral Diva, I want to make certain that we because again, a lot of people watch the show. Some of the people come back and they look at it later. What's the name of your business?
My business is McFarland Funeral Services, and we're located in the suburbs in Lansing. However, I service all over Illinois. I even serve out of the state as well. If you need any funeral services, or if you need pre-arranging, that's what we do. Our number is 708-996-7893. And you can visit our website at McFarlandFuneralServices.com.
Fantastic. And Michelle, I just got to go back for 1 minute. Mr. Ruffin, I'm going to be right there. I see you. But please, one more time, tell us the name of your business, because I do have people that are asking me that. Name of your
Madigan.
business?
It's Madigan. M-A-D as in David, I-K as in King, E-N as in Nancy. So
Fantastic.
It's Madigan Security, LLC.
Madigan, so you secure them, she buries them, and Mr. Ruffin, you go ahead and entertain them. You know what? We got the whole garbanzo over here. How are you, right, Mr. Ruffin? Now, you know I've been at your place. You know that, right?
Yes, sir. Yes,
okay?
Sir.
I don't know if the face. I don't know if you remember. I don't know if
I
you remember the face. Okay,
definitely.
Good. So I don't know if everyone knows you, right? I know that as long as I've been out here in the Southland area, and I've been out here for a while, I'm also a politician, if you didn't know it, but I get out here to different places. And I pride myself on being one of the people that's in the know. So when my friend, Miss Cassandra Motts, took me to your theater, I'm like, what the what? What the what? Where? How do we have a theater in Park Forest, and how do we get more exposure? I love shows. Okay, I it's a hard night. I grew up on Little Orphan Annie and Oliver Twist and all those different things. Friend of mine,
Yeah.
I was talking with her yesterday. She's like, oh, I love Hamilton. I'm like, yeah, whatever. I like Oliver Twist, and I like what do you call her, Little Orphan Annie? I have
Yeah, Annie.
Annie, right? So my thoughts are, how do we have this place over here in Park Forest, which is not likely that's not the place that I would think of if I want to see arts and entertainment. But
Yeah.
I was very surprisingly impressed with your place. Tell us who you are. How did you get in the theater business? I am inquisitive minds want to know.
Okay, yeah. Well, my name is John Ruffin, and I've been doing theater for the past 35 years, and started off doing it in the city of Chicago. I worked a number of years at a bunch of venues, but the one to claim the fame is when we brought Harold Washington Cultural Center back to life when it came down to the Broadway style shows, you know. And
Yes.
from there, I started Theater 47 to differentiate that's where the theater company first started, on 47th Street. And from there, we've been able to, I tour nationally. So with the Color Purple, I toured for 3 years, Dream Girls, and a whole bunch of other plays. And to the point when I finally got my facility here about 5 years ago in Park Forest, I got tired of paying licensing fees for shows, for other people's shows. So I started doing my own. And thus, we have created some blockbusters where we are now, people are trying to pull us from all over the world to bring the show there. We just finished a run of Living All Alone, the Phyllis Hyman story. And it started off, we were supposed to only did 18 shows, but it got so popular and that we end up doing 50 shows. So we've brought already over 10,000 people to the Park Forest area. And now we're about to do Lady Sings the Blues, the Billie Holiday story. And we're already 2,000 tickets sold. And looking like we're going to have another sellout run with this show. Then we have some other shows coming, like Turn Out the Lights, the Teddy Pendergrass story, and Bobby Womack. You know, these are stories that I think people find interesting that they don't really know the background to. And so that's what we are here. You can also rent the facility to do your own shows. We do all kind of receptions and parties and bridal showers and repasses, whatever you have the imagination to put on stage or in our lobby, on the stage in our lobby. That's what Theater 47 is. It's that platform for everybody. You know, we always say we're community theater with a professional essence. And that's what we do. We give you a show that I believe that if you went downtown, you can go pay that kind of money to see it, but we do it cheaper and we do it with free parking. And it is such a beautiful view out here in Park Forest.
Yes.
Beautiful that you don't have that worry about what Chicago is going through right now.
Well, let me just tell you, and again, I'm not often surprised. Listen, I'm one of these guys. I like to go around different places, and I know where all the good restaurants. So when I came there, and I'm like, well, what is this doing here? I worked. A lot of people don't know this, but I worked for a lot of years for SAIC, so the School of the Art Institute in Chicago. So when it comes to art, I'm not an artist. I'm a science guy. I'm more science, right?
Yes.
But I was in that vibe, right? I was in that vibe. So to see that, I was completely impressed. I do have a question already for you, Michelle. I have a question. They want to know, how did you open your business in a male-dominated kind of environment? How have you been able to do this, and how have you been able to thrive? I do, Miss Diva, don't think that they ain't hitting you with questions too, because I got a couple for you, and I got some more for you on that Phyllis Hyman tip, because I was in love with Phyllis Hyman. She just didn't know me. Go ahead, Michelle. How do you get your business going in a male-dominant? You know, and it's the truth. I think that a lot of times, you know, our preconceived notions, when we think about security, I always think about somebody buffed and ripped, and it's got to be this guy who's tall and has his presence. How do you as a woman in this particular business convince people that going with a woman, a Black woman in this particular business is going to be okay?
I think that my experience and the skill set that I acquired through the police department helped me to maintain a certain character in approaching this field. Because again, on the police department, it's male dominant. And so, you kind of get structured in that mindset, but you still got to stand confident. So in doing so, I found myself consulting for a lot of projects in the city of Chicago as the police to security firms. And a guy took me aside, Hank, and he works on a lot of things with Chosen Few and, this and that. And he said, Michelle, you need to start your own security business. You're giving all this information out free, that people are paying for and this, that, and how to secure properties and, and events and things like that. So long story short, he told me, he said, listen, it's going to be a pill because you are a female, but it's going to be worth it. So first step, I had to get certified. I got certified through the city of Chicago for MBE, WBE, and DBE. And it wasn't, going through the processes wasn't as painful as I thought it was going to be. It was just the grace of God moving me right along because I kind of got certified quick. And once I got certified with those—
Michelle, before you go too far, please let people know what MBE. So I do know it's minority business. Is it entrepreneurship?
It's minority business. WBE is women business, and DBE is disadvantaged business.
Fantastic.
Enterprise.
Thank you.
And so when you get certified with those three credentials, the companies that are coming into the city, a lot of them can't get contracts unless they have a minority, or someone certified in those areas, a part of their contract in order to win, the bids.
Yes.
And so it's good to have those behind you. But again, even in getting certified in this male dominant field, going and trying to partner, and I say, hey, listen, there's enough money to go around for security with everything going on in the world.
Right.
I don't want all of it. I just want a piece of it. And I'm not trying to take anything from anyone. But, we got some men out here with that ego and they get a little intimidated by it. But I believe that there are things that women know, we nosy, we're very detail oriented.
Yes.
We can see someone in 5 seconds and tell everything about that person, even if they're running down the street from you.
Yeah.
But I think that if you just stand firm and confident in your skill set, you'll win some people over because there are some things that that they just don't know. So I've been able to maintain these last couple of years.
Fantastic. Ms. Paris, I told you the questions are coming. They want to know, do you find it difficult? Let me just make sure I pull this up. Paris being so young, do you find it difficult to get the respect because of your age? And I'm paraphrasing what this question is. Paris being so young, is she respected, or does she have to? Do you feel like you have to prove yourself because you're younger and in the funeral business?
Okay, well, in regards to me, I do feel like that personally. However, I haven't had anyone disrespect me. People have had questions because you have people that are used to going to Gatlin's, Leaks, all the big funeral homes. So usually people hear about my service because of referrals. And so when they come to me, they say, okay, why should I choose you? And I say, well, first of all, I am very intimate with my families. I work directly one-on-one with them. I show them a different kind of compassion, and I make time for them. And I think that sometimes when you're going to busy funeral homes, sometimes they're all over the place. So you're not getting that full attention. And so when I bring them in, I actually prove myself, because I have some people that like, you sure you can handle this? And then I said, listen, I'm going to deliver. All you need to do is tell me what you want done for your loved one, because I make sure, they say funerals are supposed to be this sad occasion, but not really. Who said that? We're supposed to be celebrating this person's life. Yes, we're sad that they're gone, but we're going to celebrate their life. So that is what I'm huge on. And you tell me what you want and I deliver it. And so I think I've had a lot of families that have, changed their mindset. They say, hey, I'm never going to this funeral home again because you were so personal. You cared about my loved one as if they were still living and that you knew them. And I just want them to feel that genuine love.
Miss Funeral Diva, do you do the embalming yourself? I mean, is that?
Oh no, I'm not doing, that's not my cup of tea, but I do have a team that we get together. We all have our different jobs that we're good at, and we come together as a team and we make it work.
So, and Mr. Ruffin, I hope you're listening to some of these questions because this may be your next story. But my mother used to work in your next play. My mother used to be a nurse, and she worked that graveyard shift where when the bodies died, she would have to roll them in the hospital to a certain place. Well, one night she came home. She was a little bit skittish. One of the bodies kind of popped up. The person wasn't dead. Okay, and it freaked her out. She quit that job after that. So I could totally see that happening. Like, I'm done. She retired after that. She never worked in a funeral. Now, do you in your business, Ms. Paris, are you noticing a trend? Are more people still asking for that whole ritual, that burial service, or is it going more towards the cremation portion?
Things are definitely not traditional anymore. I will say that. I will say that people of our culture, we were stuck on burying people and things like that. But I think that even so, when COVID even came, cremation just went up on the rise. And I tell people all the time, there's nothing wrong with cremation. Honestly, I might even like it better. And I say that because you can take your loved one, you can wear them in chains, you can wear them in bracelets, you can have them in home, you can feel closer, like you have a piece to them that you're still carrying around you for a long time. But cremation is definitely on the rise. In the last year, I think that I've done more cremations than burials in the last year. Yeah.
So why is it, and Mr. Ruffin, again, hopefully you're taking notes for this next play, but why is it that more people are doing, like I've seen some real crazy stuff where they have the guy looking like he's still sitting in the chair. I don't know, this is a little creepy for me, Miss Diva. Have you ever done one of those type of funerals?
So the only out of the box so far that I've done, we had a glass casket. I put someone in there where the glass casket is just see-through, so you see the person the entire time. The other out of the box, someone actually in Dalton, they lost a loved one, and they said, hey, we want our son's funeral in our backyard. I said, like, you want us to put the casket in your backyard? And they're like, yeah. I'm like, okay. Let me figure this out. Pretty much we got with the city of Dalton, asked them if it was okay. Hey, we will be bringing human remains into your city, just so they won't think anything of all these cars and a hearse. And you know what? It actually turned out to be a beautiful, beautiful celebration of life. And I definitely would do something like that again. It was nothing crazy, but
was that at the Food for Less? I think I saw that. No. Just kidding, Mr. Ruffin. Listen, I was gonna be an actor. I don't know if you could tell. I don't know. I was gonna be a movie
comedian.
Or a comedian. I did try out to be a comedian in Detroit. And Miss Funeral Diva, I don't know if you heard about Swanson's Funeral Home. I'm from Detroit. Swanson Funeral Home is the big Gatlin type funeral home in Detroit. So if you've ever go there, if you're not getting buried at Swanson, you're not having a TV dinner, right? But Mr. Ruffin, when I think about myself, when I was younger, when I was a little young, I'm still a young guy. Don't let the gray hair fool you, okay? It's
right.
The texture of the gray wall that's really making it look more gray than it actually is. But when I was a young man, I wanted to be. I thought I wanted to be an actor, right? I was like, hey, this would be kind of cool, until they keyed me off, and now I'm forever stained with PTSD because they booed me. But how do you get, I'm just looking at you having this conversation with your parents. Mom, Dad, yeah, I want to get into the theater business. How does this go? Like, how did you get others to buy into supporting you through this thing? That seems, I can see the funeral director, people dying every time. Security, protect me. Acting, it sometimes gets looked at as one of those things where, yeah, you need to grow up and be a grown man. Like, how did you get past that and get into acting?
Well, basically, I'm not into acting. I write.
Well,
Yeah, and write and produce it. But when it come down to it, my parents were typical like everyone else. I'm a preacher's kid. So that
always
was
those
number.
preacher's kids. I think
Yeah.
everybody here is a preacher's kid. Michelle, Miss
Yeah.
Funeral Diva, them got some bad kids. No, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that's what gave me a leg up when it came down to this entertainment world, is because we know how to act the best.
Okay. Right.
On Sundays we good. On Monday through Saturday, hey, it's another story. So I used to say, so when it came down to it, my parents were just like everyone else.
Yes.
I went to school, I went to college, and what they paid for, helped me pay for, was a degree in business. However, my passion was always the arts. And so while I was working a job, I was working on my passion as well. And that's what happened. One thing about God-given gifts, they're there, and all you're doing is practicing. And the more you practice, all of the refined, the better it gets. So from that point, my audience, I just started building. People start coming to my shows without me having to advertise what the show was about, just for the simple fact that I'm doing it. So that has taken a lot of years. And one thing I try to do is I give back to other playwrights. I let a lot of them come shadow me and different things like that, so they can understand and learn, because I didn't have any mentors in this. The only mentor I had was God. That's why he gets all the glory in this. And so I'm so grateful about that, because now, everything I learned or was taught by God, and everything that I built up myself. I built my own style. I'm always coined, "Oh, you the Tyler Perry of Chicago." I say, I'll be so glad when I become the John Ruffin of Monique, wherever I live at now. But you know what I'm saying? Can I please have? But it's all right, because it's better than being the Slappy of 79th Street or something. So I'm just very honored that people do see the shows, they do support, and we always have over a 2,000 people waiting list for our shows to get in. So we're very blessed over here.
And how do they get on that mailing list, Mr. Ruffin?
Sure, you can go to www.theater47.com. That's theater with a ER, THEATER, the number 4, the number 7.com, and join the mailing list. And that's the easiest way. And we make sure we send all notifications out, so that you know what our next shows, what the next auditions, because we're always looking for people, because we have that many productions that we always need good people, working crew, working not just on the stage, but behind the scenes as well. Yes.
Yeah. So if you're just joining, welcome to Tea and Conversation. This is Adam Winston, trustee Adam Winston, over here in the village of Glenwood. And we have some exciting people here tonight. So please bring those questions in, because we don't get such, I love this, right? I love this. I was an entrepreneur. Miss Funeral Diva, I started my first business off, if I sound like a broken record, if you've seen the show before, I started my first business off at 18. And I got into the grocery business, and most people said, nobody's going to buy nothing from you. Well, I ended up owning 4 grocery stores. So I know it can be done. And I know what can be done with hard work, but you have to first believe in yourself, right? And I believed that even when I did all the wrong stuff, that I was going to be successful. And I was successful up until the point where I got rid of the last grocery store and started going, working more corporate America, and then opened up another business. Once you have it in your blood, that's not an energy drink, is it, Mr. Ruffin?
Not at all.
My good friend Kevin Samuels, he was drinking those too. Sorry, Michelle, don't you go there with me. Michelle, not Michelle Mosley, the other Michelle who has a security business. Let me ask you, Michelle, are you right now, where do you see your business heading? I'm looking at law enforcement, people that, in terms of security, the police. Are you noticing some trends in your industry? Ms. Diva talked about some of the trends in hers. Are you noticing that more people are hiring private security, more
Yes.
people are interested in private security?
Yes.
Are you,
Yes.
do you get the same feedback or the same response that some police officers are getting?
Well, the trend is changed where a lot of people, ever since the pandemic has hit, and some things have changed in law enforcement. The views and the trust of law enforcement has changed.
Yes.
And so people are more acquiescent now toward private security, people that they can trust. Like the young lady said, word of mouth, things that they've seen at events that I have my staff working. I even have an all women's team working. And it is my belief that women, even though they're women, they get a lot more response and respect because they are women and they're much calmer. And when they're professional and nice, they get a lot of, compliance from people. But the trend as far as security, yes, it is more private. Again, we have this attitude against law enforcement. And I will say this, as a police officer, I enjoyed that career. But it was just time to move on and do something else. So I retired. But the police is the police, and everyone hates the police until they need them. And so, I still get a lot of feedback about the police. However, people are moving toward private security. They don't want the police, because of the public perception of what's going on in law enforcement at this time. So I welcome it. It's helping me out.
It's so interesting. So last week I had the gentleman, he was a retired police officer and he owned the ice cream place. He just opened it up over in Matson, but he worked in law enforcement, and it's so interesting because now people are starting second careers, and he opened up this delicious ice cream place over in Matson. Trustee Mats, what's the name of that ice cream place again?
Sean Michelle.
Okay, and
Yes,
so
on
Sean Michelle,
47th Street
I'm sorry?
in Bronzeville. He has one on 47th Street in Bronzeville as well.
Absolutely. So,
Are you talking about Muhammad? Yahya Muhammad?
I think that was his name.
I used to work with him.
Oh, no kidding. Oh, so y'all masterminded it. See, Mr. Ruffin, I got the whole story right here. Here it is. He had a dream, and he had an ice cream. Then she did the security, managing the ice cream. You see where I'm going with this?
There you go.
And then the diva, she came in and she embalmed them.
And rolled them out.
Yeah. And rolled them out after they got full on ice cream that the cultures hadn't cured, and it took them out. But in any event, so because of COVID, now here's the interesting thing about security, and this is for all of the guests here. How do you, all of your businesses were affected by COVID, right? Because I would think as security, I'm about to lock this person up or grab them or whatever, and then I'm out. Miss Funeral Diva, you got people that have expired because of COVID complications. And then Mr. Ruffin, your theater, you can't have all these people sitting on top of each other with COVID. Each one of you, how did you survive, and how have you changed your business because of the COVID? Who wants to go first?
I will.
Okay.
I think how I was able to survive on some of those projects because of COVID and what was going on during the pandemic, and with chaos. A lot of things became chaotic. A lot of things became, unfortunately, when the George Floyd, incident happened, and stores were getting broken into, and people's home, cars, everything was getting broken into. People still wanted some sort of security, right? Yeah. And what I had to do was talk to my workers, get their fill of it, because I'm not going to jeopardize, someone's safety, health-wise. And for the majority of them, as long as they feel like that they can be protected, protect themselves, because they're pretty much the only ones on the scene at this time. A lot of people were staying away and indoors.
Yeah.
They just wanted eyes and ears and visibility on their property and space. So I think that was the way that I was able to manage and survive somehow. And they were able to sit in their vehicles, at the time, and have this view, for safe practices. So I think that was one of the ways that I was able to manage.
Mr. Ruffin, now I know that movie theaters all over, I don't even know. I mean, let me just be honest, okay? when HBO started showing movies at home on HBO Max, I was like, yes, I can spend the $30 and now everybody can watch the same movie. I pop popcorn, I can watch it when I want. But at the same time, I have to appreciate the fact that there's a whole industry like yours with theater, movie theaters, and so on and so forth. You guys took a beat down during the COVID season. How were you able to not just give up on your dream, understanding the difficult time that COVID presented for you? How were you able to manage all that?
Well, it was one of those I had to. I'm under a lease, so they don't care if it's COVID or World War VIII.
They want their rent.
They want their rent. So basically,
but they couldn't throw you out though, right, Michelle? They couldn't throw them out, right?
Throw them out.
Right, exactly.
Throw them out.
Well, it wasn't nobody here anyway.
Wasn't nobody.
But what we did was I think it was more boredom. I was, because I'm so used to performing in front of people. What I did was the gracious city of Park Forest allowed me to build a stage right outside my venue. And what I would do was get the talent that I know from all over, and they'll come here and we'll throw free concerts, and a lot of times, it was spaced out. It was called Sit Under the Stars, Bring Your Own Chair. And we usually have about 600 to 800 people out here every Friday night, and then we did it the year after, until I was just tired of it. And I was like, hey, that was free, now it's time. But it helped sustain us a little bit because people would buy from our bar and different things like that in appreciation. So it would really turn out with what they were donating and what they were buying. It would turn out just like a rental, so it all worked out. And from that, I pulled a whole world of new clients and a new fan base because they were so appreciative of what we did, to get them out of that slump. You could come outside in your mask, you could space out, you could sit across the street if you wanted to. The music was that good, and it was all free. So there you go. That's how. Well,
let me tell you something. So I came to your place during the COVID. So there you have it. That's how I was introduced during your place, and I was there, and I was surprisingly refreshed. Miss Funeral Diva, okay, and I'm just I know that you, unlike some of them, had probably a ton of people coming in there, unfortunately, because of the circumstances. But did it change how you operated, right? I mean, were you a little bit more apprehensive? Were you a little bit more guarded with how you treated the bodies? Was it more isolating? I know that a lot of families, they no longer could have, Church's Chicken and Faygo Soda there at their I know that. Come on, stop, guys. Stop it. Every Black funeral has Church's Chicken. I don't even know where you get the dang old Church's. Who's selling Church's Chicken? But in any event,
Churches.
How did you? One of the things, Miss Diva, if you ever bury me, I don't want no chicken at mine. I did use a double negative. I don't want no chicken at my funeral. Give them tacos or something, but don't give them chicken. We got to throw them off because they gonna be expecting Faygo and Church's Chicken. In any event, how did you cope knowing that you were going to have Church's Chicken and Faygo at your just kidding. So how did you cope?
Well, actually, COVID actually happened when my business was getting off the ground, when I was nurturing.
So perfect timing.
Perfect timing, but not perfect. Yeah. And honestly, if it wasn't for COVID, I probably would still be in my slow space. COVID was the kickoff for my business. I mean, it was so many people dropping like flies that when families were looking for funeral homes, the funeral homes were like booked. So people were like, hey, I know someone called this young lady. And that's how I started my reputation with COVID, unfortunately. But fortunately, it did bless my business to be able to get families come in to me and give me a chance, not even knowing me during a most euphoric time. And like, I was like, I don't know what this is. We have to stay protected. We were getting like hazmat suits and different things like that because we had no idea of what it was. I was able to hire more staffing during that time because we needed the help. But COVID is really what built my business. So
Yeah.
I appreciate it in some sort. However, how it was tough was because you could only have about 10 people in a service. So imagine a grandmother that has 90 something great grandchildren,
Yeah.
and only 10 people can attend a funeral service in a chapel. And it was just so sad. I mean, people were falling out because you had to make this executive decision on those 10 people that can sit in this service. So with that, that is also another way that cremation came around too, because some people were like, you know what, we just want to be fair. No one's going to see mama. No one's going to see daddy. They're in the hospital. We're just going to directly cremate them. So I had a lot of direct cremation.
So that's very interesting. So what about like, and Mr. Ruffin, you probably can speak to this also, because I look at platforms like what we're talking on right now, like Zoom, and this Zoom and Teams and whatever these video platforms people are using. Is that now a normal part of your war chest when it comes to hosting funerals, where now, okay, if you have a loved one, okay, you can't travel here. Now, part of my business model is we're going to video this particular funeral. What do we call it? Procession. What do we call it? I'm sorry. I haven't.
What are you talking about? Funeral?
When people have funerals, I don't go to.
Oh, the funeral procession.
Okay, right. So did you video these and then maybe have them on Zoom where people maybe they could not attend the funeral, but they could still view or feel like, at least through this virtual lens, at least feel like they were a part of burying their loved one? Is that
Absolutely,
now a part of your toolbox?
Because back then, taking pictures and videos were like weird if you would do that at someone's funeral. Now, I mean, people are bringing in laptops. We even put that in our packages. We have live streaming services. So we have a company that comes out, and if you want that at your funeral service, they tape it because one, COVID, and two, some people didn't want to travel because of COVID because they live somewhere else. But that is definitely in now, and you can watch your loved one services from afar.
So Michelle, I see you, and Mr. Ruffin, hopefully you see my eyes. It to me seems like Miss Funeral Diva has a heck of a business model, right? Because by her being young and understanding how technology works, oh my God, you just got a ramp, right? Because you can bring in some of these platforms that many of the Gatlin funeral homes, I'm a consultant, by the way, for hire, but you could bring in some of these platforms to really make certain that, and some of our seniors, they run from technology, but I look at it as an opportunity. COVID presented a great opportunity for businesses like yours to really get off the ground. Mr. Ruffin, same thing with you. I'm thinking that all of your plays, you may not have been able to have the audience. Did you turn inward, right? You still go through the motions of having these plays, but now you're streaming them, right? Now I'm your only fan, right? And you don't have to just be nude to do an OnlyFans, right, Mr. Ruffin? I've
never done it, so maybe you do.
I was just testing you there, brother. I was just testing you. But what I'm saying is, you could do the OnlyFans or whatever the thing is, where your guest, I'm looking at so many people right now. I got Miss Holler, the older lady I love this old lady who's on YouTube and Facebook. She has cancer right now, and she really talks really, really crazy. She's like 96 years old. I don't know if you've seen this. I think her name is
Miss Holler.
Yeah, Holler. The lady is insane. I love her, right? Mm-hmm. But people like her have used platforms like this, and they're not even actors, right? They're just regular people, just videoing their life on a day-to-day basis for an hour a day or whatever, and it's taken off. Have you found opportunity in this COVID besides the free venues where you can find other ways to capitalize and be like Miss Diva, just making it all over the place, right, Miss Diva? You making it's just flying in, the money.
Right. Well, we had pay-per-view before COVID. So,
Okay.
you know, we were streaming before that because that's another way to get the word out and to for other states and cities that we're not going to come to, for them to enable them for them to see the shows. However, it started cannibalizing what we were trying to do live. So that's why we stopped doing that. However, yeah, we were doing it. Matter of fact, that was my business model when I first opened up in 2016 or 2018 when I opened up here. So yeah, so it did take off, and out of COVID, we did start my own studio where we were shooting a sitcom. You know, we shoot sitcoms, the whole nine. So, you know, and got quite a few deals with BET and so forth like that. But, you know, my main love is theater. You know, the film stuff is great, but it's nothing like live and in person with the theatrical performances. It just feels better, you know.
Yes. Okay, so I'm going to ask, and I always do this. I go around, and Michelle,
Yes.
if I want to get into the security business, and listen, let me tell you something. I have a friend of mine who only talks about security. He wants to be in the security business. He loves this. How would a person actually? I gotta tell you this. I was going to be a cop. I actually went to the police academy. I was going to be a police officer, and I just decided I like business. I don't want to chase nobody down the street. I want to eat this fried chicken, not Church's chicken, Miss Diva, but I want to eat this fried chicken, and I don't want to chase you. Hey, I'll catch you next time if you run from me. If a person is interested in getting into security, what would be some advice that you would give them?
Well, first of all, the first step into getting into the security business is I had to sign up with I always get the letters wrong, Illinois Department of Financial Professional Regulation. So you got to sign up with IDFPR and take the exam. There's a security exam in order to be certified. Take the exam. Once you pass the exam and get certified, you're well on your way. You have to pass that exam first and get certified by the state. And once you pass that exam, well, people are just gonna start, once they post that you passed this exam or you start putting the word out and signing up with different agencies, they're gonna start coming, at you for your business. The next step I would say is to start getting certified with some of these Illinois Tollway. Start getting certified with the city of Chicago, the suburbs. They all have their own different suburban, entities to be certified in. And
Right.
then from there, you don't have to stay in Illinois. I'm registered in different states. So when those bids go out and they see me as a minority woman, yes, they're sending me proposals because they want me on that contract. And it's not just a minority woman, I would say a minority man as well, but it's a male dominant field. So I'm sure that they know, and understand. But those are the first steps to take to get it into the security business. So,
what's the investment? I mean, am I looking at? If I wanted to get into the security business, does it require a financial investment?
Well, can I tell you that I was blessed not to have to take out any loans to start my business? Listen, God is awesome, and He's even better than that. I started with just some of my savings, and when that first contract came, all I had to do was, oh my God, cover the payroll of those few employees because I'm a sole owner here, and I can employ from 1 to 100 in no time because remember, I have a huge law enforcement base and military base that I can pull from a pool. Yeah. But depending on how big the contract is, I was able to cover the payroll for the first 2 payrolls. And by that time, my money started coming in from the contract. So I was good. I was fortunate enough that I didn't have to take out loans and things like that. I was fortunate enough to have a friend who was in the printing and t-shirt business who can make my logos and put them on shirts and things like that. So I would say reach out to family and friends.
Ms. Mitchell, I'm just feeling fortunate enough to know somebody with some money. But Miss Diva, if I want to get it, let me tell you something. I'm a Renaissance man. Mr. Ruffin, you can tell. I am somebody who does a little bit. I can claim it, Mr. Ruffin. But I actually thought I'm an entrepreneur. So at the core, people will tell you I'm a politician, but I own grocery stores. I own a construction business. I do consulting. I'm a businessman, right? And so I wanted to open up. A cremation place, right? That's what I was thinking. And I had been thinking about this some years ago. I was like, okay, this is the way to go. Low cost. Now listen, I don't want you to think I'm morbid, okay? Low cost funeral burial service, bury your loved one for under $99, whatever. I'm making up this number, right?
Oh.
And I was like, I'll do it like Amazon did it, right? Where Amazon, when they first came out, Amazon was undercutting the market. They would just undercut. I would do it. I mean, I don't want to say 2 for 1, right? That would just imply that's even more morbid. But what I'm saying is, I was thinking about just do cremation where we just send them to the oven, right? I don't even have to have an oven at my place, right? The oven would be wherever they barbecue, wherever they cook them, wherever what do you call that?
A crematory.
Crematory. So wherever the crematory is, which is generally in certain places, if they get cremated, the body doesn't come to you, right?
So sometimes we pick them up and they come to us until like maybe it's some paperwork that has to get done through the state, and then we'll take them to the crematory. Sometimes we take them directly to the crematory. It just depends on the situation.
Okay. Because I was thinking like I wouldn't even have to touch the body, right? I would just.
I mean, you can do that. You can do that.
I was looking for, this is low cost funeral service. So if I wanted to open up a funeral home, what would be some advice you would give a person who's interested? My good friend, Tim, who's generally on the show, he's not here today. He wanted to be a mortician. I'm surprised he's not here today. How would one get into this? Because he talks about, he's like, I'm going to get my mortician license. I'm like, who thinks this way, right? Like, out of all the occupations I've ever thought about, I've never thought about being a mortician, but he wants to be one. How does one get into this business?
The biggest thing, first of all, if you're even considering it, I will say, first take the business part out. That is important. If you're not a person with passion or a heart to help and to serve, it's definitely not for you. I see people in this industry lose business because of their mouth. They're angry, and you have to understand you're dealing with people's emotions that are up to here. And like, if you're
most vulnerable time.
Exactly. If you're clashing with them, I mean, it's a catastrophe, And so that's the main thing. See, hey, can I be around people that are deceased? Number one, because people are like, they just think, oh, I can do it, it's way more to that. It's very emotional. I tell people, you have to be a multitasker. I say that because I have like 20 jobs. I'm a grief counselor. I'm a banker, I'm I'm everything. I mean, people call me at 3 a.m. It's that personable. And sometimes they can't sleep and they want to get things off their chest. They want to talk about obituaries. You have to make sure you're that type of person fit to do that, because if you're not, this is not the business for you. However, if you are that person, they have Worsham College, mortuary school. They have Malcolm X. You can go there, get your mortuary degree. Even if you don't even want to funeral direct, you can hire your staff, different things like that. Make sure you have a good support system, a team, because like I said, if your team doesn't have a heart like you, it's just not going to work. So that's just a couple things. The take the business part out and make sure your heart is in this.
Yeah. So, and you know what? I want to apologize. Like somebody's like, Adam, they didn't like my fried chicken reference. Okay, with churches, but and honestly, being from Detroit, every funeral that I went to, we kind of had the church chicken there. That's just the way it is. But I guess what I was trying to get at with that is that right now with the COVID. And I mean, those things, I don't think that we really value that component, right? The eating portion of it, and this is all, I'm making jokes a little bit, but the eating portion is connected to that particular service. When people have they're burying their loved one, the family comes together at the church or at the whatever the location, and they break bread together. Even if it's church's chicken, I'm not a big fan, as you probably tell, but they do that. Mr. Ruffin, I just had to clear it up because I don't want some of these people like, he hates church's chicken. I do, okay, but because I don't know how come church's chicken is so big, and I don't even know where they are because I don't see any church's chickens anywhere except over there on Halsted, and I think 162nd, and I don't even know how they stay open, but
Right.
in any event, it's really strange. It's like the only one, but it's at every funeral. Like,
Yeah.
so, Mr. Ruffin, how does a person get into the acting? I mean, I want to get into acting. I want to become, I know you said that if you could come on and try out, I don't know if you said that. I thought maybe you might have said.
I didn't, but you can. Go
okay,
ahead.
because I was going to go where what you said. You said, if you want to come and work the kitchen, then
Right.
you can work your way up to acting.
There you go. There you go. Shine a few shoes. Yeah. But yeah, for you to one thing about it, you know, I create this platform for those who didn't have the opportunity to go to school for it. You know, didn't have the opportunity, but yet got the potential to do it. So what we do is, in order to contact us to get involved, we have a few programs that we do here as far as, you know, how to get your feet wet into theater. You go www.theater47.com again, and you let us know that you're interested. And we send out the notices letting everyone know when we're having classes, when we're having opportunities to audition, and all that good stuff. You know, always the website has all our information that you're ever going to need, including the shows that we're doing and so forth like that. We've been blessed that, you know, people come from all around, even Glenwood, you know, and to see the shows. So, you know, we always post it out there. It's always on Facebook. We're always on Facebook Live. I'm definitely always on the radio, pushing and promoting the shows and different things like that. But yes, you can even call our phone number here at 708-898-7730. That's 708-898-7730 if you're interested in joining our program, you know, auditioning, cast and crew. You know, we're always looking for ushers. We're always looking for people to work the box office, you name it, musicians, you name it. We're looking for you. I am in a moment of looking for new actors, new singers, new dancers. We have a heck of a dance program here. And so we really take our talent. We really put a whole lot into them. The people that I do have that's over these programs have, I mean, years and years of experience. And then a lot of times I'll come in there and teach a master's class to make sure that you're getting everything that you need to at least go out there into the world. And we're so happy that we have placed so many people on Broadway. We have a young man who plays Simba in The Lion King in Broadway, one that played the lead role in Kinky Boots. We have a girl that's in Hamilton. As you all know, from the south suburbs here, Sandy Red. She comes from our program. She's now in Jesus Christ Superstar. So we take you from where you know, from something that you didn't think you could become to greatness. That's where we're here to birth new stars. The other stars already have a name. It's time for some new names out here.
Well, you know what? You almost make me want to get into acting. You know what?
Almost, right?
Almost. So and I appreciate all of my guests. If you're just joining, I see a couple of Miss Diva is beautiful. Yes, Miss Diva. They're saying they're giving you compliments on you. I put it out there, but Miss Diva is beautiful. Yes, she is. Okay, but Miss Diva is on here about her business, and she's gonna make you look beautiful too, and your loved one look beautiful in the most vulnerable time of all of our lives. And that's when a loved one or yourself may make that transition. This has been absolutely amazing. I am so blessed to be in the presence of three young beautiful African American during Black Awareness Month, doing their thing. And again, it's in where's your business located at, Michelle?
On the south side of Chicago.
Okay, good. Where's your business located, Miss Diva, with your beautiful self, according to these folks?
We're out in Lansing, however, our service all over Illinois.
Fantastic. Right here. And I know where you at, Mr. Ruffin, because I've been there. And let me tell you something, and I'm just going to throw a little shout out to Park Forest, even though the taxes are high. Even though those taxes are high, Park Forest, they do have a lot of little treasures that many people sleep on. Yeah, they do that house party. I normally go out there and when the mosquitoes eat up my legs, and the mosquitoes always bite me in the weirdest places, Mr. Ruffin, but I come to that little house party, that little house music thing that they have every year. It is good times in Richmond High. And Michelle, I don't know if your organization is out there protecting the public, but I do feel safe. Michelle?
Yes.
Your business protecting the public over there?
Yes,
Okay,
of course we are.
But it's been
protecting the public.
It's been amazing to have each and every one. Miss Diva, you can go first. I'm gonna give you before we close out of here, because I got some shrimp on the stove. What I made me some shrimp and rice. Don't play. Miss Diva, tell us again about your business. Where, if they need funeral services, how can they reach you or learn more about your services?
First, you can visit our website at www.mcfarlandfuneralservices.com. We have some work on there. If you're looking for pre-needs or even at needs, you can definitely go on there and fill out information. Our number is 708-996-7893. Give us a call during your time of need. Also, I am licensed to do life insurance. So I push that really heavily because our people need it. So if you need assistance with that, please feel free to give us a call.
So Ms. Diva, one follow-up question somebody's asking me, what are the steps to get pre-burial insurance? That's one of the questions they just asked.
Okay, so you can definitely give me a call and pretty much you tell me what services you're looking for when that time comes, and pretty much we can do you some services. And
so pre-burial, let me just make sure I understand this.
Pre-need arrangements.
Pre-need arrangement. I come and I prepay for folks to bury me. Do you know what if I don't want church's chicken, do I tell that to you?
You put everything that you want and don't want, and we will put that in the contract and we will lock that in. We're going to put it huge. Do not get church's chicken for Mr.
I'm
Winston.
out. No church's chicken at my funeral. You guys gonna get tacos, okay? Without the shell and no flour shells.
Okay, corn.
The corn. I will make certain that hopefully you got that. You can contact her. Get that number again. What is that number?
708-996-7893.
Fantastic. Mr. Ruffin,
Yes.
Tell us, tell us how people can reach you. What's the next show and tickets available? Let them know, because I may be on my way to Park Forest because I ain't got nothing. I do have something to do this weekend, but the next weekend.
Yeah. Well, we open up Lady Sings the Blues coming September 17th through October 23rd. That's September 17th through October 23rd. The tickets can be found at www.theater47.com. Again, that's theater47.com, or you can call the number 708-898-7730. That's 708-898-7730. Tickets are $40, and you can come to the box office. Our location is 350 Victory Drive. Again, that's 350 Victory Drive in Park Forest, Illinois. And we're open between the hours of 12 p.m. and 4 p.m. if you want to buy your tickets in person. So our next show, Lady Sings the Blues, the Billie Holiday story, is hitting the stage September 17th through October 23rd.
Mr. Ruffin, can you? I got to go there. Tell me about this Phyllis Hyman thing.
Billie Holiday.
Phyllis Hyman. Phyllis Hyman.
Well, we've done Phyllis Hyman already. So the next time it come out, if you all give me an invite, I'll make sure to tell you about that.
Listen, Phyllis Hyman, I remember Spike Lee came out with that movie. What was that movie?
Some days.
School Days or
School
something,
Days,
right?
yeah.
Yeah, School Days. And Phyllis Hyman, I don't even understand it. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Miss
she
Michelle, I
did.
digress. Miss Michelle, tell us about you. How can we reach you if I need security? Okay.
Okay.
And I'm thinking about, I happened last night, it was nothing on television. I'm moving into my new place. So I got TVs at one house, but I left one TV here just in case I was here, right? And I went, I turned on something, I don't have regular TV, but Martin was on. And they had the security guy on. I don't know if you remember this episode on Martin where he had security. Was it Roni Ron? I don't even remember. How do people reach you? Okay, I'm going to stop. Okay, how do they reach you?
Okay, so in order to reach me, you can go to my website, MadikenSecurityLLC.com. So that's Madiken, M-A-D as in David, I-K-E-N as in Nancy. MadikenSecurityLLC.com is my website. My phone number is area code 773-895-5757. That is my phone number to my company. So if you need security, big or small, we do it all. Just call me.
What about somebody's asking? Do you do preventative services like cameras around the house, making certain that people's premises
I
are
work
safe?
with contractors who, yes, we provide that service as well. Just
Okay.
contact me, and you can go to my website and you can see all the services that we do provide, or you
Okay.
could just give me a call.
Fantastic.
773.
Okay. Well, thank you very much. Again, I want to thank all of my guests. It is Black Awareness Business Month, Black Awareness Month, however you want to put it. I am so glad that I had an opportunity to meet each and every one of you guys. You always have a standing invite. You don't have to have that link. It's the same. I'm here every Monday at Tea and Conversation. We do this for an hour long or a little longer, depending on the people. But if you have something that's coming along, you can always pop in. It don't take much time, Miss Diva. It don't take much time, Miss Michelle, but you can always come in and join the conversation. So thank you very much for sharing your business, and congratulations to each and every one of you. And I look forward to your service throughout these communities. So I'm really grateful to each and every one. And you know, it's so amazing. I'm gonna leave this alone at this, but it's so amazing to me because sometimes when we are in these little proverbial bubbles, we don't know what everybody's doing, right? I don't know. If I saw you, Miss Diva or Michelle, walking down the street, Miss Michelle, I'd have been like, come on and lock me up. And Miss Diva, I'd have been like, she too young. She don't know what she's doing.
Right.
So we make these judgments, but I think that these platforms like this and your just openness to be able to share with us are how we start bridging these gaps. I'm sick of people asking, well, what are Black people doing? Here's folks right here. This is what they're doing. They got funeral homes, they got security business, and they can entertain you.
Well, thank you so much for providing a platform for us to share what we're doing here. I really appreciate your service. Thank you so much for having me on and having us on, again, in order to express and project out there what we're doing. Thank you.
Fantastic. Michelle Mosley, do you have any questions out there? You've been kind of quiet today.
I don't have any questions today. Okay. Thank you for the information, though.
Mr. Decker, are you out there? You're not by yourself, Mr. Decker?
No, I'm here. I'm actually multitasking. I'm watering our community garden, but I've been listening the whole time. I love hearing small business owners be successful. And I mean, as a small business owner myself, when you get to do what you chose, you don't have to go to work. You get to do what you want to do. I mean, that is the American dream, right?
Absolutely.
So, well, thank you very much. And thank all of our guests. Please, if you have any additional comments or questions, I am not going through all of these. It is 8 o'clock. I am going to eat my shrimp. Have a good night, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Thank you.